Welcome back to the Finnmints podcast. My name is Finnmints. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. So today's episode, it's a musical themed again, music themed, of course. I kind of want to tell you guys, my story as a musician. So right off the bat, let's see. I started into music, like whether it's choir or like orchestra or something. I started into my quote unquote music life, I guess, as I was in fifth grade, I think it was. I started playing the cello in fifth grade, and I played the cello all the way through junior high and through high school. In college, I didn't really play the cello because I didn't really have any time. Yeah. So playing the cello, I don't. Quite frankly, I couldn't even tell you what went off in my mind that sort of persuaded me, for lack of a better word, to play the cello. Um, I don't know, like part of me was just like, oh, that's an interesting thing, and fifth grade came around, and yeah, and I picked up the cello, and I guess I can say that maybe I've been playing it ever since. Not really ever since. I kind of took a break for a few years, but the cello's over there. It's over there, yeah. Um, Granted, I will admit that I was not the best cello player. Like, I was that one kid who would show up to class and try to play all the right notes and stuff. I took lessons um from a few private teachers, from two actually. The first one, not to throw any shade, but I didn't really like the teacher that much because he would like constantly like make fun of me, and but hey, you know what, that was in the past. That was maybe 12 years ago. It's all good. It's, yeah, whatever. The second teacher though, I liked it. My second cello teacher was awesome. The first guy was awesome too, but the second teacher knew how to teach better than the first guy. Anyway, um so that happened. Let's see, I did orchestra in junior high. I wanted to do choir in junior high, but they had the choir class at the same time as the orchestra class. So it's kind of like, darn it, dude, like one or the other. So I chose orchestra. Up until I think it was high school. I did choir and orchestra in high school. Um, it was a healthy balance, because like I'd play my cello, and then I'd go take a break and then go to choir. Frankly, I'll be honest with you, I prefer choir over orchestra. There, I said it. I prefer choir over orchestra. Both are fun though. Both have their unique aspects about them. Um, I don't know, like I said before, I'm not the best cello player out there. I'm a pretty decent singer, I'd like to say. Not gonna sing for you guys on the show because that's not what we're here for. But anyway, yeah, no, I enjoyed choir a little bit more for some reason. And then in college, I did choir. I saw actually this one dude who, actually, before I get to that, I did over some of the summers between my seventh and I think it was my 11th grade year. I did like this chamber music camp at my college, and it was pretty fun. I actually, you know what? Actually, fun fact about that: when I went to that chamber music camp, that's how I met Levi. Levi. You guys know Levi. He has appeared in a few episodes on the show, and yeah, we've been friends ever since, which is great. However, though, during that camp as well, there's this one guy, like the cello tutor or whatever. He was at my college, like many years later. And when I went to the college, he saw me, and he's just like, "You gonna do cello?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Why not?" And move away. I mean, yeah, he was joking around, but it's kind of like, I prefer choir over cello. Sorry, but which brings me to choir. My life as a musician. When I first started in choir, I started in choir my sophomore year of high school, so that's sophomore, junior, senior, 7 years. Yeah, I actually made a video about this earlier, like a episode about this earlier. Yeah, no. I started choir my sophomore year. I was scared. I was like, oh man, what do I do? Because I wasn't confident. I will argue and go on the record and say that I am I'm more confident now than I was back then. Like in my singing skills. Like, heck, I sometimes even like walk around my house just singing stuff. I've made lifelong friends in both my high school and my choir group. In my high school choir, no, both in my high school and my college choir groups. They're great people. I love them. I love those people. They're awesome. Yeah, dude. Like, kind of like as I said in a previous episode, I was in one of the top audition ensembles for both my high school and college, which was awesome because I auditioned as a freshman in college and I made it in to my college choir, and the professor and I are like really good friends nowadays, and it's great. And yeah, like choir in college specifically has helped me. I actually I think I have developed a skill of like perfect pitch, Like I can hear something, I can hear a note and like immediately maybe tell what it is just without playing a piano. I don't know. I think I have perfect pitch. It's kind of like one of those things that it never really like occurred to me, quite frankly. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like whenever if I'm like walking out around somewhere out and about, and I hear like a noise like or whatever, not something like that, but and I and part of my brain, if I hear a noise like a tone, a specific tone or a note per se, and I hear it, I can go, oh, that's an A flat or an A, which is like damn. So I have like I wouldn't say perfect pitch, but I have like semi perfect pitch. That's cool. That's cool. I think that also came from me playing cello for about 8 years, 9 years. I don't know. I don't know. I and my life as a musician um has actually helped me get control of my voice, Like whether it's my talking voice or something or my singing voice, and it actually has sort of like motivated me to do this podcast actually. So that's kind of fun too. Like, I would start episodes with being like, "Welcome back to the Juniormans podcast. My name is Finnmints." There you go. See? So, it's more like nonchalant. But yeah, um I like being a musician. I would still categorize myself as a musician because like, I sing and stuff like that. I use Logic Pro 10 and like compose. I know it's not the same thing, but I like compose many like little projects, and that's pretty fun. And I don't think I could have been able to do that had I not been in choir and orchestra all those years. So I was kind of like, I'm very glad I made those two choices to join up because like I don't know who or where I would be if I hadn't joined those groups. So I'm glad I did. So yeah, man. Let's see. So I don't know, like talking about my voice for a second here. Like I told someone that I have a podcast, and they're like, "You have a podcast voice." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." I personally I don't hear it. I'll be honest with you. Well, of course I don't hear it because like because I listen I hear my voice constantly, right? So, and I heard from someone else that like my podcast voice is like low key. It's like calming. Sometimes it can be, sometimes it's not. Who knows? But like, I don't know. I don't really hear much of a difference. All I hear is my voice. But I'm not fighting it. I'm not upset. I'm not offended. I love it. Getting compliments like that, being like, "Yo, you have like a podcast voice," Maybe it's because I've been like kind of working at it. Because I've been making this podcast since I think August of 2020, maybe even earlier. I don't know. But yeah, to conclude though, that is my story as a musician, and I don't think my musicianship will ever stop. Quite frankly, I know it won't. There's, I can guarantee it. I'm gonna keep producing songs and singing and stuff for sure. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the Junior Mints podcast. I have been your host, Finnmints. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked it, please drop a like, comment down below, and please subscribe. I could really use the support. Anyway, thank you guys again. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.